All right, we have here for sale an older John Deere F620 commercial grade 60-inch deck. It's an older mower. It's not mine. I'm selling it for my invalid neighbor. It's hers. I've been using it to cut her 5 acres regularly with no issues on the cut or performance until the middle of this season. We're selling it because the engine's begun to lose power, and I just don't have the time, especially it not being mine, to tear into it. I did some diagnostics. One cylinder has lost compression. I replaced the ignition coil thinking it was spark, but I put a compression gauge tester on there. It turns out one cylinder's lost compression. That could be a simple fix. It could be a complex fix. I just don't have time to dig into it. But until that point, running like a champ, it still starts, still runs and drives. You can drive it up onto a trailer and away. Both wheel motors seem to be pulling fine with no strange noises, clinks or clanks, any of that stuff. Again, up to about this season, I was cutting 5 complex acres with it, very hilly, lots of trees, often very tall grass that never had any problem. I could cut that 5 acres in not much over an hour. So it's a pretty good mow machine. It is older. It has an hour meter. I don't remember what it says. We'll look at it here in just a second. I've got the cab flipped up so we can take a look at that motor. Just a couple other small points beyond the engine power loss. Some this and that's that I just haven't had the time to take care of, it not being directly my mower. I've still got my 2 acres to cut as well. The front wheels don't hold air more than maybe 3, 4, 5 days. And rather than fix them, I've just been keeping air in them. The back tires are fine, hold pressure. You can see, I got some glare, hopefully you can see this. The tread is fine on both the tires. They're in great shape. Big old fuel capacity. Got the engine exposed here. Couple little odds and ends on the engine. You can see that the dipstick broke off. That was, I think, end of last season, beginning of this season, I can't remember. And rather than retrieve it out of there, it needed an oil change anyway. So I just did a full oil change and topped it off with the book required amount of oil, so I know how much is in there. The engine does have a small oil leak out of the bottom. Again, not something I've taken the time to invest in. I've been running it as is. All I got to do is hook that a new dipstick in there and just keep an eye on the oil. I just haven't got around to it yet. Obviously, you probably want to repair that if you're going to use it for a full-time cutter. Like I was mentioning, both of the wheel motors run strong. A little bit of tendency to drift left, but they do have the adjusters and the levers I haven't messed with. That's the hydraulic oil reservoir, which is full. I got it popped up. You can see the wiring underneath. It's an older mower, but it's all together. One other thing that you'll want to probably deal with if you're going to keep it long term is the choke cable. The choke cable broke, and so I've just got it hanging off here. You can probably see it floating out into space there. It hooks up right here on top of the carburetor. All I've been doing is just hand choking it to start it first thing in the morning. Then once the engine's warm, you don't need it. So again, just one more expense and time investment I've avoided with just a pretty easy workaround. Air filter's in good shape. I don't have that cover off. Before I continue the walk around, I just kind of crank it up for you. So we'll just look here. I've got the parking brake on. Let's put it down to idle position there. Deck is off, and both the hand controls are in the out position. Full disclosure, I've driven earlier today to get it into my yard, which you can see the grass is super high. I've been out of town. So the engine's a little bit warm, but let's just see how it cranks up for us. So you can see when it's warm, it cranks right off. When I hand choke it, it takes maybe 3 revolutions of the engine before it starts running. So other than that stinking compression loss, I think the engine internals are in good shape. It doesn't smoke.